have I've started the recording, guys. So just to give you brief insight about what is all like this course content and what would be, you can say, high level, uh, how we will go with the course, how would be the approach, what would be the timeline, and what all topics we will try to achieve, like try to cover and try to make sure like we have the sufficient you can say programming practice as well as like framework practice, I would say mostly, which is very, very important, guys. Okay. So at a higher level, guys, please remember, since I am sure that you all will be on like obviously from different you can say skill set, or let's say uh, some of you might have programming skill set, some of you might not have. So my course is actually purely designed for the one who is, let's say, from scratch, because as I will usually go in three this thing, guys. Okay. So we will have three you can say modules, or you can say three section in which I will divide my course purely. Okay. So I know that some of you might be already from the programming background, but still it is important for me to make sure that everyone are well versed with the manual testing concept. So the first around 4 to 5 sessions, guys, would be purely on manual testing. I know some of you already have some background, but still it is important so that everybody have the same, you can say, will be on same page. So it is important for me to just go through the you can say important concept, what are test cases, test scenarios, what is requirement traceability matrix, what is test plan, test strategy, what is RTM, what is defect matrix, what is defect life cycle. So those type of basic questions we will try to make sure will cover in the manual testing. So before I move ahead, guys, anybody from let's say non-programming background who is, let's say, uh, have uh, have like attending the testing related session for the first time, because I know that I would be covering manual testing, but still, anybody wants to add anything before I move to like what would be my second module, guys? Anybody wants to share any experience like prior to this, I was working in some other domain or something. Anybody, please unmute and speak up. Those who wants to share their experience. Anybody? Okay, I see pin drop silence. Okay, no worries. So just to give you the context, because I want, because as you know, right, we will be moving to automation only when, guys, the product, or you can say the environment on which we are working, that should be stable, guys. Please remember this point. We will move to automation only when our environment or the module or the product on which we are working, that should be stable. So for that reason, please make sure, guys, you have clear understanding on the manual testing core concept. Okay. So core concept should be clear. For that reason, I'll take hardly 2 to 3, maximum 4 sessions on manual testing. So please bear with me for that. If those who are from already aware about manual testing, still like there will be some sort of revision. Also, you can add on your thought process, what you think, okay? So that will have the, you can say, whatever knowledge you have gained throughout your experience, exposure for manual testing, you guys can also share those who are already, let's say, working in manual or automation testing, guys. The second very, very important module which we are going to have is like Java, guys. Okay. So now the question arises like, what about Java? Whether the Java will be from, you can say basics. The answer is yes, from basic to core Java. Okay. Now, again, over here, we have two things to be very clarified, guys. When I say core Java, please remember Java is the programming language which is also used by the developer as well. The developer which Java language they use, right? They use Hibernate, they use Spring framework, they use various other framework, guys. So when I say Java from basics to core, we will cover till Java streams and collection framework. Okay, please remember this. So till this point, wherever when I say core Java, because obviously, if you are working on any of the automation module or any of the automation assignment or task, till this point is sufficient to have the knowledge to create any of the automation script in Java, guys. Okay, so we'll start from basic till the core Java concept. Okay, so we'll reach out to that point wherein everybody are comfortable with creating their automation framework and all the concept which is required from the programming language point of view. Those topics will be covered in the you can say second module, guys. Okay. Anybody wants to add anything, please feel free to ask. Anybody has any query in between, please you can unmute and speak up. Those who wants to add any additional you can say queries or questions. Okay. Now, as I mentioned already, this will take around 3 to 4 sessions. Okay. I'm just this is rough. This thing obviously based queries, doubts, questions. We have the uh, so those who are not speaking, be on mute. Okay. It's a request. Thank you. Let me jump
Sir,
on.
how many days it will take to
Yes, yes,
complete these sessions? Can you
complete. Yeah, yeah. I'm coming to that as well.
okay.
So Java from basic to this is like little bit extensive topic. So I would say that this will take around minimum around I would say 14 minimum 2 weeks is the time which I usually give, but still I would consider 3 week for the Java related queries. Okay. So wherein I usually consider between 2 weeks to 3 weeks actually in this. Okay. So 14 to 15 session, I would consider only purely for Java. Now, please remember, guys, when I am saying that Java, it doesn't mean that we will be talking about the theoretical stuff and not because see, my obviously we will do a session day wise session, and each and every concept whatever we will be talking about all will be kind of practice over Eclipse VS Code, one like one of the editor, and on the daily basis you will be getting the details about the you can say assignments. You guys needs to follow the same. Please give out at least an hour or something and try to complete those assignment whatever I'll be completing. Let's say day one I have completed inheritance, so you will get the topic related to inheritance which you need to complete before the next session begins. So that is how I usually give the, because I do have a lot of you can say practical oriented queries questions. Those you need to practice. You need to come up with the approach. Once you are done with your assignment, have it in the separate project. Okay. So we'll have one complete end-to-end project for this, which will be either in Eclipse, VS Code, or PyCharm. And this will be mostly like 14 to 15, you can say sessions, guys. Okay. So this is the second module, very, very important. And the last one is, which is very, very important, that is Selenium integrated with Java. So this is again, guys, around 18 to 20 sessions. Okay. So overall, please remember, it will be kind of at roughly I'm talking, it will be around 38 to 40 sessions, guys. It will be kind of taking into consideration. We will have for completing the whole, you can say, this particular course, guys, Selenium with Java. And just coming to the course content, I hope those who are, let's say, you might have went through the link, guys. So this is the course content link, wherein all the topics which we from the Java point of view, from manual testing point of view, from Selenium point of view, are actually published on this website, guys. Okay, so I would request to please go through this because like I can go through this now, but still I would request you guys to kind of go through this. I'll share this link over the Zoom chat window. And I would request meanwhile everyone please go through this, okay? Because these are the topics which we are going to cover in the coming session. So uh, it is obvious that all are related to like Java. When I say that we have object-oriented programming concept, all those things will be listed in the inside this particular content, guys. Okay, is
Sorry,
it clear? Yeah.
better off you can share it on the group based on WhatsApp. It will be
Yes.
easy for us.
Yes, sure. So duration I'm keeping to 40, like 38 to 40 sessions, guys. Please remember, it may vary depending upon the queries, doubts, questions, real-time questions from you guys. Let's say at the same time you are trying to implement the same thing into your project. Okay, so it may happen that you may come across with various doubts, queries. So we may have little bit extension to this as well. Okay. So over here, there will be some queries, questions, whether we will be talking about Git, whether we will be talking about SQL, whether we will be talking about Jenkins. The answer is yes, because when I say end-to-end framework, guys, it includes the coding, it includes the framework development, it includes the GitHub action workflow, it includes creating a YML file, including the creations of Jenkins file, moving your code to online repo, that will be Git most of the time because it's an you that's what we are using for our practice purpose, and how we will trigger the pipeline through Jenkins over local host. Okay, all this will be inside our last, I would say, once we are done with the framework development and everything. Okay, and then we will talk about those you can say concepts. Okay, so everything will be included under that. Okay, now coming to the session, guys, before I move,
One
anybody
second,
wants to?
I have a doubt.
Yeah, please go ahead, please.
So for this frameworks, um, the
Mm-hmm.
other concepts of Selenium, like automating a web page, automating the elements in a web page, how
Mm-hmm.
much percentage do you give to teach us those, and how much percentage do you give for teaching the framework development?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, I understood your query, doubt.
Okay, thank
When
you.
I say Selenium integrated with Java, okay, we will be obviously covering the very basic concept, whatever is required. Let's say, usually you can consider, let's say, locator, weight, assertions, all those topics, correct? So this will take around 8 to 10 session, I would say. Remaining around 8 to 10 sessions which are left inside this, right? We will have total around 3 to 4 framework, guys. Okay. So when I say 3 to 4 framework, those framework will be, one will be page object model, second will be BDD Cucumber, and third will be REST assured API testing. Okay. Now, if you talk about the percentage, right? How much session you will try to have inside each of this particular. So page object model will be around 4 to 5 sessions. Okay. Because whatever we did in page object model, same will be kind of, you can say, that will be acting as the same data for our BDD Cucumber. So this BDD Cucumber will take around 2 to 3 days. Okay. And whatever we have learned about the manual API testing using Postman, Swagger, or Ready API, SOAP API, right? So this you can consider 3 to 4 sessions. Okay, I'm just giving the amount, guys. Obviously, this can differ. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, so I'm coming from Oracle ERP perspective, so I wanted to ask, we'll also be covering, not sure if you're familiar with it, but core forms, Java core forms from an Oracle EBS perspective or ERP system. You know, they launched those core forms, and most of the time I've been struggling with that. I think that is one of the biggest wins I'd like to achieve. Just want to know, will that also be kind of covered, not only web pages, but those Java kind of widget applets?
So you are talking about Oracle forms using Selenium, correct?
Yes.
Yes, yes. So yes, that will be kind of additional topic. We'll have that as
Okay, thank you.
absolutely. It will be added. Okay. So I
Yeah,
hope everyone are
yeah.
clear. Yeah, I think there is
Oh,
one more questions. Yeah, please go ahead.
yes. So one question on the topic number two, like Java from basics to core Java. So you said like this much is enough, like the programmer, the developer uses timer, that swing, all those kind of things. But for us, like for automating for the QA
Mhm.
group, this much whatever you will tell is enough, like in 14 to 15
It is
sessions. So
90% enough. I won't say 100% because sometime what happens, you get a test case which is, let's say, out of the topic or something, right? At that time we might need to have some external dependencies which we may need to integrate with our jar file, right? So that is some extreme test case, out of the box test case. Yeah.
okay, and this Java, like for someone like who like see I am
Mm,
from the functional testing or the manual testing. So
mm.
I have not worked on Java like now for number of years.
Yes,
So
yes.
the thing that you're going to tell is like from the very beginning, that will
Yes.
to the level that we can develop our own framework, work on any project, like automating
Yeah.
any project.
So you will be skilled almost 80 to 85%. Okay. That remaining 20% or 15% is something like I would obviously considered as the self practice.
Yep.
Yes, right. So 80% you will be confident in creating a framework from scratch. Okay, depending upon the test case, you already aware about the manual testing test case. So you can consider those test case, and obviously you can generate the POC for the automating those test case only. And 20% is something self practice. You will be, because every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks, I would say there will be new you can say change log which comes into considerations when you go to the official website of Selenium, right. Latest in 20th September there is new release of Selenium which is 4.25, guys. Okay, which has been updated. There are some changes with respect to, so those you need to kind of improvise, you can say, by practicing yourself, right? But yes, 80 to 85% you will be confident in creating framework from scratch. And even if I give if I give you any framework, you will be able to modify as per your business need, as per your let's say trying to resolve the syntax error and everything. You will be able to include n number of other test cases, so that will be like assured once
Okay,
whatever.
on existing framework, we should be able to understand if someone has already worked on that
Yes, yes.
existing
If,
framework. Okay.
yeah, correct. That's
Okay.
correct.
Yeah.
I have a
Thanks, Vikas.
question.
Yeah, go ahead, please, Nadia.
I want to ask, I am from manual testing background, mostly database testing, but I have worked on automation, but a few years back. So
Mhm.
my question is, when you will be, we will be going through this training. So on which project we will be working? Would there be any demo project
So
provided by you?
most of the time I do consider e-commerce project only, because those are open source available over the, you can say, internet. Okay. So those will be you can at the same time, guys, you guys can also practice the same thing at your project level also. Okay. If I am taking some demo project, let's say of e-commerce or something, and if you guys have some project which is not, let's say, other domain or something, right? So at the same time, whatever practice we have done today, right? Or let's say tomorrow, in 2 days or 3 days, whatever we have done, try to create a test case for that particular domain for your project, and try to check whether the same thing is working fine for your project or not. If not, then you can obviously ask whatever you can say error, console error you are getting, and we can obviously connect and try to resolve that. Yes, as far as practice purpose is concerned, it will be mostly e-commerce domain, you can say. Okay, perfect. So just let's get started, guys. So very first thing is,
Hello, hello. In this is for which topic you cover in this session?
in rest assured, we will be covering API. You can say API testing using rest assured. So whatever we have, right? Serialization, deserialization, Pojo classes. So all those topics will be part of your rest assured API testing.
Oh,
Jackson, yeah, JSON library. So all those will be part of your rest assured. Okay, so the CRUD operations, everything.
Yeah,
Perfect.
also one more, sorry.
Perfect. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so one more thing. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, one more thing, like these 38 to 40 sessions, so you will be covering like 5 sessions a week, or like how it will be?
Yes, absolutely. 5 sessions a week. Like 2 days will be week off, and you can practice over
So
those
what
days.
about timings or
Yes.
and stuff?
Timing will be 9 p.m. IST every day.
Okay, 9 p.m. IST. Okay, it's
Yes,
yeah.
timing is 9 p.m. IST. Perfect, correct.
No worries.
Perfect. So jumping on to our topic, guys. Today, I'll uh, obviously have a high level discussions on automation framework. So anybody can tell me what is automation framework first of all? Because see, guys, I'm not going in detail about why we are not doing manual testing, why people are switching to automation. So I hope everybody are aware about the advantages. Everybody are aware about why Selenium, correct? Because at a higher level, I can go through those topics, but I will go through the automation framework like this topic. I'll explain the advantage, obviously, but I will not go in the theoretical part saying that why Selenium, why we are not doing manual testing anymore, what are the pros and cons, right? So I'll not go in detail like PowerPoint or something. I'll just give like real-time example with the real-time project, what is currently happening in the market, and I'll try to relate those questions and whatever you have, right, with this I mean this particular you can say Sublime text, guys. Okay, so now the query question is, what is automation framework? Can anybody explain in one line, or let's say put your answer in chat window, those who wants to what is automation framework? Anybody? Whatever you think, guys, it's okay if it is non let's say incorrect answer. What is automation framework? What do you think? What would be the automation framework?
Yeah, it's something like we are just automating the test cases or test scripts.
Correct.
So what is my understanding is framework means there might be some default functions. So by using
Perfect.
default functions, you can automate the scenarios.
Yes. Okay.
Manual cases which we would be automating using Java Selenium so that it makes the faster process of testing.
Yes. Yes. Anybody else wants to add anything?
Basically, if you have set of scenarios wherein you need to repeatedly run it, regression kind of thing. So
Perfect.
every time a new change is made, you can run those regression tests to ensure that your product is intact, whatever changes you've done so far.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you, Srini.
It is like setting up a set of rules and guidelines a team should follow in automating everything.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect, Balan. So all the answers were obviously correct. Absolutely. So automation framework in a real, you can say for like from the QA point of I'm saying, guys, from the QA standpoint, automation framework is something wherein you are organizing, okay? What you are organizing? You are organizing all the project related files. Okay, when I say project related file, you are organizing all the project related files. Okay, now what is all the project related file? Now here comes the crux. What are the different project related file when it comes to, you can say, automation framework? So there are various files, guys. Obviously right now you will have high level understanding. So we have something called as configuration file. Okay, we have something called as log file. Okay, we have something called as page object file. Okay, what is this page object and all things we'll discuss, guys, but this is at a higher level, and then I will try to show one of the sample project wherein you will see all these files, guys. Okay, we will have the test cases file. Okay, we will have the test data file. Okay, we will have the screenshots. Okay, we will have the screenshots. Okay, we will have the you can say reports. Okay, we will have the utility folder, which will obviously contains the utility files. Okay, and the major reason I'm talking about this file is, guys, because with the help of this file, you will be able to achieve what Selenium, what I think somebody told, right? You will be able to do regression testing. You will be able to, if there is any change in any of the flows or anything, right? If QA, if developer says you that we have updated this, now you can start your. So at the same time, you can trigger your automation framework for those test cases, and within around 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever is the count of test case, you will get the result, whether the change has been like updated correctly or not. Okay, so these are the major files which we will see, which we will have in almost all type of frameworks. Okay, when I say all type of framework, I'm talking about REST assured, I'm talking about BDD Cucumber, page object model, data driven, robot framework, right? Even like the guy who are, let's say, from the Python background, guys, over there also you have the same set of file, guys. Okay, there is no change in the filing this thing, file name and everything. The folder and file structure remains same. Only thing is syntax wise there are some changes when we say like using VB script or using Python, guys. Okay, but yes, at a higher level, this file will remain common irrespective whether you are using REST assured, whether you are using BDD Cucumber or page object model. Okay, now at a higher level, we are having certain set of framework which are already available in the market, which we follow, and based on that, we try to improvise the framework, guys, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. Okay, so there are some predefined framework, guys. Okay, so when I say predefined, guys, we will talk about this topic in the coming sessions, guys. When I say predefined framework, there are predefined framework which is provided by Selenium, guys. Okay, so what are those framework which are available right now with Selenium? Such as, I would just have it at higher level, but later on we will do a detailed discussion. And guys, one more thing, in this whole you can say practice part, we will follow one predefined framework which I'm mentioning right now, that is called as test ng. Okay, test next generation. So we will follow only test ng. Okay, because of the popularity. We have JUnit, we have test ng, we have something called as unit test, we have NUnit, we have PyTest, and many more, but these are the popular one, out of which test ng is the like popular amongst all. So we will obviously practice our whole activity using test ng as a framework. Please remember this. Okay, so these are the framework which already Selenium is providing. Okay, they are having their inbuilt libraries and everything, and we will obviously have that into our Selenium project. And once we add, we will be able to use all the methods, all the functions and everything, whatever TestNG is providing into our actual test case. Okay. So yeah, that's the overall about the automation framework. What is automation framework? I'll just show you the Eclipse, guys, at a higher level, so that everybody can just have a look and feel, and then we will talk about the prerequisites and everything. Okay. So I'll close all the file before I move to so here, guys, this is one of the framework from the previous, I would say, batch, wherein you can see that yes, we will explore POM in TestNG. Absolutely. So whenever we are working in Eclipse, guys, this is the standard folder structure which we have. Okay. So right now you can see multiple projects. Out of that, you can just focus on one of the project, guys, that is V Cucumber framework. And on the left hand side, you can see that this is the folder structure. And here we will have the test cases and everything, guys. Okay. So we will obviously have a lot of discussion on this, like how to create this and everything. So moving on over here, you can see that we are having JRE system library, Maven dependency, feature file, logs, screenshots, SRC and target you can ignore, guys. We have config.property, which is managing the real-time data, or you can say hard-coded value. And we have pom.xml, where all the dependencies and everything are being managed under this particular file. Okay. Now this is the framework which is obviously created using the BDD style of writing. Okay. And if you talk about, let's say, any page object model or something, okay, so you will see the same folder structure, guys. Okay, there will be no major change. Major change will be inside SRC test Java and SRC main Java. Okay, that we will see in the coming you can say session. Okay. So this is at just higher level, guys, which we have some of the framework. And this is how usually we kind of execute, and we will have the error and everything in the console area. And that we need to rectify. And then again, you need to keep on running. Okay. So any query, any questions, any doubt before I move to the, let's say, uh, manual testing contents and manual testing sessions, guys?
Yeah.
Hi,
So when
Isha,
you
what's there?
say
Go ahead, please, one by one. Yeah. I think,
Yeah. Okay, one question from my side, like,
yeah, Anil, go ahead, please.
yeah. So you said like we'll be using Eclipse, right, as a
Yeah,
tool.
Eclipse. Correct. Eclipse and
Okay.
ID.
Okay. So how does this editor, like whether it's Eclipse or IntelliJ, all those are editors only, right? Like
Yes. Now,
they, how
over here,
different
the
are they? Like,
concern is when we are actually, the thing is right now, I will just share you at higher level. Whenever we are working with, let's say, Cypress or Playwright, okay, 90% of the people are directly using VS Code. Okay. The reason is, if you go to their official website also, all the, you can say, code or all the screenshots, whatever they have captured, like the developer I'm saying about Cypress or Playwright, okay, they have used VS Code for their, you can say, tool development. Okay. Similarly, when we talk about Selenium Java dependencies, guys, okay, the developer who, let's say, has developed that particular dependency, that particular developer has actually used, I would say, Eclipse for the complete editing, saving, and obviously all the activity, whatever they are kind of updating. Okay. So that is the major reason why we are kind of using Eclipse as a higher priority compared to IntelliJ, PyCharm, VS Code. Although all the editors are supporting, but the community support which is provided by Eclipse, okay, that is huge, guys. Okay. And all the plugins, whatever is required from the marketplace, which are obviously available in the Eclipse marketplace, and those are updated ones, whatever is required. Okay, that's the reason 80 to 90% of the people who are working with Selenium, they have the tendency to move towards Eclipse as a first priority. And let's say due to some unforced, they are not, let's say not want to use, don't want to use or something, right? Then they try to think of other, let's say PyCharm, or let's say other editor, VS Code or anything, guys. But yes, 70 to 80% of the people, first preference is Eclipse. So if you're talking, let's say other editor will support, the answer is yes, guys. No need to worry on that part. Other editor will also support all the IntelliSense, all the whatever running JUnit test case, TestNG test case, everything will be supported by other editor as well.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yes, the question I asked because
Yeah,
my
Anil.
organization I've seen like they use IntelliJ. Uh,
Perfect.
so just I wanted to understand what's the difference between them. Like if we go with Eclipse, will
Yeah,
I
yeah.
be able to do on the
Yes.
IntelliJ same thing?
IntelliJ also, the reason why people there is no dependency on editor. If you those who have, let's say, remember about the previous like Selenium, this thing, right? We need to manually download the jar and set up the build path. That was the traditional approach, guys, around 6 to 7 years ago, actually. Okay. Now, recently, in the recent like 2 3 years, what happened is like we update everything inside our pom.xml. Okay, no need of downloading the jar, keeping at the separate folder. Try to link those jar into our project. Those activity is no longer required, guys. Okay, even if you use IntelliJ, you need to manage the pom.xml. If your pom.xml is managed correctly and everything is fine with pom.xml, there is no error, then you will be able to run the test case in IntelliJ also. There is no issue, guys. Okay, please remember this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a question.
Yeah, Daniel, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so you did mention that you would be using TestNG as one of the framework and also BDD Cucumber earlier in point 3.
Perfect.
The hands-on would be on TestNG, that's what you're trying to say, and just the theory part would be BDD Cucumber, or we'll also have opportunity to do hands-on using.
TestNG pure hands-on. Okay. We
Okay.
will have pure hands-on on TestNG. Okay, around 4 to 5 session pure hands-on on TestNG, because current market is like almost all the framework, all the project, 90% first preference is TestNG. And talking about BDD Cucumber, again, we will have the complete detailed, you can say, session on feature file, scenario outline, background, all the keywords, whatever we have in our feature file, how we create the step def, how we create the tags, how we create the annotations, how we link those annotations, how we are implementing the step definition, what are the different plugins which help us to generate the step definition, Gherkin syntax, how we are generating the logs, reports, everything will be covered in BDD Cucumber framework as well.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Yeah. I see one more question was there, I think.
Yeah, this Sandeep from Bangalore. So, like you said, we'll be using dependencies for Maven. So right now, many organizations for like and like old one also they go for upgrading Gradle. So will you teach us for the Gradle as well? Like we'll be sticking with the Maven itself.
80% to 90% people still are using Maven as a build management tool. Okay. For Gradle and ANT, we can create a project. That's not a problem. Although we have the required dependency, which are available from MVN repository, guys. Okay. We can add them. Okay. There is no concern. And we can create the Gradle project as. Okay. So I can show, but yes, hands-on exposure and experience will be on the Maven project. Okay. At a higher level, I would be able to kind of show you a little bit like how the Gradle project are managed, how the dependencies are updated, how the test case and everything, whatever required functions are required into your actual test case, how those are getting used.
Yeah. Is it possible to use both the dependencies in a single project? Like you are preferring any one?
Yeah, that is absolutely possible.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. Anybody
So,
else? Yeah, please
yeah, I
go
have a
on.
question here.
Yeah,
So,
hi.
as you have mentioned that you will be covering up API testing, right? So,
Covering what? API.
API testing, yes.
Yeah,
So,
API.
will you be teaching Postman?
Yes, Postman is required, guys. Postman, around one or two session on Postman. Both the web version as well as the desktop version. Will have the detailed sessions on collections, environment, variable, API mock flows, flowchart, all the options which are available in Postman, right? Those who have an idea on the UI part,
Correct.
we try to touch base on those. The reason is, as I mentioned already, before switching to automation, your manual testing should be absolutely like 100%. You should be clear with what is endpoint status code, what is response body, what are the predefined script, what are the post-defined script into your Postman automation as well, right? We have Postman automation also. So we'll touch base to those topics, how we can automate in Postman as well, and how we can run the different, you can say, payload using the Excel or CSV by uploading and trying to make sure that your payload, whatever is available, right, those are updated with those values which you have passed over CSV. So those type of discussion we will have for the Postman topic for API testing.
Okay, fine. Great.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. So please remember, guys, we will have two, like one major prerequisite. I would request everyone to please do that as soon as possible. One is Java. And once you have the Java, it will be obviously 17 plus the current version. Okay, so you can just check over the terminal whether what Java version you are having. Second is, as you guys already are aware that you can just have Eclipse, IntelliJ. Okay, I'll show you at high level what all things you can check first of all. So for Java installation, guys, you can directly go to Chrome and just write Java installation. Okay. So there are two things. One is like either you can just check the terminal part. Okay. If not, then please download the JDK, JRE, and please provide the path for that. Okay. I'll obviously show that into my Windows machine, how to do that. Okay. And once everyone is done with that, just go to terminal and just write Java hyphen version. You will be able to see the current JDK and this version, guys. Okay. Those who are using Windows, guys, please write Java hyphen version. Same thing. You will be able to see the version which is currently installed into your machine. Okay. For Mac, guys, you don't need to do the environment variable setup. Okay. For those who are working in Windows, okay, please remember you need to do the environment path setup for the bin and JDK folders. Okay, so that is an additional activity. I'll share the complete documentation with respect to Java installation. Okay, once the Java is installed into your machine, I would request everyone to go to you can say terminal and try to check Java hyphen version. Okay. So once you do that, you should be able to see the latest Java version which is installed into your machine. Okay. So I'll share the complete doc, guys. Okay, which will help you to install Java into your machine. Okay, complete instruction with the like complete instruction document. So everyone can follow that and try to do this activity. Okay. Second is IntelliJ, guys. Very simple, very basic things. You can just go to Chrome browser and just hit download IntelliJ. Okay, those who, let's say, working on IntelliJ, PyCharm, whatever it is, you need to have the community, you can say this particular edition. And this is the interface of IntelliJ, guys. You can just click on download. Okay. So once you click on download, because there are two versions, there is pricing also involved. We will not be using that particular version. We will be any which ways using the community edition, guys. Okay. So this is for IntelliJ. So Eclipse is completely free, guys. Okay. Just go to Google and write Eclipse and just go to Eclipse download. You will be able to see something called as this icon, right? So over here, you can click on download, guys. Okay. So you will see 2023, 24, that will be the version. And for Eclipse also, guys, I'll share the complete documentation wherein you can refer the doc and do the download. For Eclipse, it is very straightforward, guys. You can do within 3 to 4 minutes, guys. Once the package is installed, after that, you need to create a simple Java project. Okay. So the UI, so the once it is downloaded, you will see the icon like this into your Windows as well. Just open that, close the project, and after that, please go to new and create one new Java project if required. Otherwise, download both the whatever plugins you like. Okay. And we have other additional plugins also. I am not saying that you should download this too. We are having additional plugins as well. Okay. So we have VS Code, we have PyCharm, we have NetBeans. Okay. So these are all the plugins which are available. Okay. But our practice and everything will be on, guys, Eclipse. Please remember this. Okay. So I hope everyone are clear. Like these are the two prerequisites which are required, guys. I would request everyone before tomorrow's session, everybody are having the correct, you can say Java setup and Java like Eclipse setup into their machines. Okay. So these are the two things which are required, guys. Anybody has any query, questions, doubt?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Do we need any specific JDK or JRE version or any latest? Fine.
Yeah, anything above 17 is fine. Actually, anything about 11 is fine, Java 11, but
Okay.
you can consider 17 plus. Okay. Because 17 has also like it's been 2 years already. So right now, Java is actually 21, 22, I think. Okay. So you can have that check. Once you write Java version, you will see the current version which is installed into your machine.
Okay, and you will also let us know about the environment variable setup.
Environment variable, setting up the environment. I'll share the complete documentation. Okay, for
Okay.
this over the WhatsApp group and even over the Drive link. I'll share it so that you can refer that. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's very simple because right now I'm using Mac, guys. In Windows, you just need to go to My Computer, Properties, Environment Variable, Change, and just check the path which has been present. It should be till bin folder. Okay, so I'll share the complete documentation for this. For both actually, how to download Eclipse, how to download, or let's say set up the Java, okay, into your machine. Perfect. So yeah, I think everyone are good. So coming back to our tomorrow's discussion will be mostly on obviously some silly topics on manual testing, guys, which will be like little bit detailed discussions on what are the terminal, because I hope all of you are having some idea on the testing, you can say terminologies. When I say testing terminologies, what is white box, black box, regression, smoke, sanity, what is test plan, test strategy, what is requirement traceability matrix, right? So we will have little bit detailed discussion on those areas as well, because as I already told, right, we will talk a little bit on the manual testing, guys. Okay. It is required. The reason is some of you guys might be, let's say, from the let's say other background. So that's the reason I will have some discussion on manual testing. At any point, if you guys think that let's say you already are aware about this topic, so you can just interrupt me in between, guys, and I'll skip directly to Java guys. Okay, again, I'm just to make sure that everyone, but the condition over here is everybody should be aware about the manual testing code concept. Okay. So before let's say you can say ending the session, I would just have a high level assignment or activity with you all guys. Um, just at high level guys, anybody can tell me um like when I go to this particular website, okay, at a higher level guys, don't I mean don't get into detail about this. uh how many test case we can automate? I'm just having a, you can say, ballpark estimation basically. How many test case you can have for this particular screen? Like when I say this particular screen, only for flight, and out of that only this section guys. Okay, from here till here, I'm not talking about this options also. Okay, don't get confused. I'm just asking you how many test case you can think at a higher level for this particular field, which I like right now is present on your screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 3 check boxes. Any rough estimation how many test case you can consider for this? Anyone?
Maybe
Do you
30,
mean
around
ask
30.
for
Right from login you are asking, or after login,
No.
what
I'm
is the
talking,
requirement?
yeah, I'm talking only about this particular field. There is no login involved, no registration involved, nothing is involved. Okay, if I
Around
want
60 to 70 test cases probably.
okay. So what
so are
approach
you
you
ask
have used? Yeah,
I
go ahead.
test
Pardon?
matrix,
Yeah.
testability matrix?
Okay.
So if you're covering for both UI and functionality wise, it will be more, but only for high level for happy path testing, we can just consider from maximum 10, 15. But if you go in depth of field wise, also the different negative scenarios as well, also UI covering will be more. It depends upon the
Requirement
what you're
depends on
preparing the RM.
what is the requirement, right? Uh,
Yes.
so yes, absolutely, guys. Because as soon as you move to automation, guys, you will not be able to cover all the scenarios, right? I mean, when I say all the scenarios, here, whatever you told, right, whatever you can consider around 50 to 60, those 50 to 60 data maintain, like maintaining those data, maintaining those run, right? So that will be possible only via automation. Okay. So when I say 60 to 70 manual test case running of all this field, right, which is obviously time consuming, it may take around 3 to 4 days actually to execute those, to understand the result and everything. But with automation, what happens is you will manage the data, that is from data to data, departure date, return date, and the number of adult, infant, or child into a particular CSV, Excel, or any of the JSON file. And with that approach, you will be able to trigger those 60 to 70 set of data within a span of 6 to 7 minutes, guys. Okay, so that's the beauty of like I would say automation. Okay, but before that, obviously you should be comfortable with what all different manual you can say test cases at higher level, around 3 to 4 test cases. If you are comfortable, after that you just need to manage the test data which you are using for this particular locator which is present on the UI part. Okay, so running them manually will take around 2 to 3 days, guys. So the same job via automation, that is obviously Selenium, we will be able to achieve within 8 to 10 minutes the complete report, guys. Okay, like from to cannot be same, departure date, arrival date should be less than, like return date should be less than, so all those validation will be also covered in those test cases, guys, those automation test cases. Clear, everyone?
So again,
Perfect.
about the test data, you're telling that we have dynamic test data only for the particular features.
Yes. So the test data management will be done by QA guys. Okay. Now that data you need to kind of get it like what all countries, what all cities, what all let's say values, keywords you will insert into this particular locator, and accordingly it will select the respective country, respective you can say state or whatever it is. Okay. So those test data management is also done by QA only guys. Okay. Clear, everyone? Okay, because obviously if you consider the count of test case guys, it will be more than actually 5,000, 6,000 if you try to consider the permutation combination logic guys. Okay, because here adult can be one, here infant can be one, adult can be two, infant child can be one, like so all this combination will obviously have lot of you can say permutation combination guys. Here we have 3 classes, 4 classes also. So you are running the test case with economy, then you need to run the test case with premium economy, then you need to run your test case, same test case with business class, same test case with first class, right? Getting my point guys, everyone? Then you are trying to check with travelers, one traveler, two traveler, three traveler, total maximum 9 traveler, right? At the same time. Then you are checking with add nearby report airport, sorry, add nearby airports, right? So here nearby airports, you need to know the expected result. Here you need to have the nearby airport result. So all this obviously for creations of automation script will take time, but once it is created, correct? After that, you will be able to achieve that particular scenario within 10 to 15 minutes, guys. Okay?
Uh,
Yeah. Go ahead, please. I think someone was asking something.
Yeah, it's like, are we using any test techniques here, or like we just roughly calculating the test scenarios,
Right now,
like
see,
BBA?
yeah. Over here, ideally, we should use BBA as well as we will be using equivalence partitioning also. And with that approach, because it is not possible to validate all the city, right? I mean, all over the globe, we are not sure. Like we will not have the idea on how many city we can have it over here. Same is for the two.
Yes.
So you need to roughly take around five cities, six cities from each country or something, and then you need to validate the complete end-to-end flow.
But what
Yeah.
about the negative flow?
Negative flow will be also covered if you keep this empty, click on search. So
Okay.
data which
Blank
Then
you
would
data.
it be around 10 to 15 cases then?
yeah, so the data which you will manage, right? Like the test data which
Mm.
I'm talking about, in that you will keep this particular value as empty. You will keep
Empty.
this as
Okay.
empty. You will keep this as empty. Click on search. You should see this
Okay.
pop-up. You will put an assertion on this pop-up. Is it visible?
Okay.
Yes. Now let's say I'm
Mm.
putting Bangalore. If I put 2 values and now I click on search, I should see this particular pop-up, correct? So all this
Mm.
condition we need to have under one particular, you can say framework, guys.
Okay.
Okay, clear everyone? Okay, so okay then I think we are good. Anybody has anything to ask or anything to highlight before I mean end the session, guys? Anybody wants to add anything?
Yes, I have two quick questions. So,
But
first one would be on this topic only. I wanted to know on what basis would you calculate the number of test cases? Let's say someone asks you this question, giving you a page, something similar to this only. So, is it based on the number of input fields, or is it based on the, like, how do we calculate that? Like,
currently, if you ask me, the count for this test case is you cannot count actually. The reason for this is you don't have the count of number of countries which can be the input. Okay. You don't have the count for which the number of cities like 2 values. Okay. The reason I'm saying is if you have the fixed value, like if I can play around with only 6, let's say here you can see that I can have only 8 this thing input. I mean maximum 8. So I know that my limitation for adult will be 8 only. Okay, here if I do this, here limitation is 8. So I know the number of test case for this particular field I'm talking. But if you ask me in the combine this scenario, correct, I'm not aware about the number of city over here. I'm not aware about the number. If you consider, let's say I will take 15 city. So 15 city, 15 destination, departure date again play a vital role, because you have till 2027, 28 active, you can say, right? Even right now, I can select a year which is, let's say, 2029, 28, whatever it is. Okay, that condition we need to understand. Correct. The last date is 23, I think, which is 2 year from 1 year from now. That is 23rd. Okay, and the return date cannot be. You can see that right now I selected this, and return date is 23, right? So if you roughly ask, then 60 to 70 is the correct figure, but it will not cover all the scenarios, guys. Okay, whatever we wanted to achieve. Okay, so that validation, obviously you need to keep on updating your set of test data, okay, via automation, and then you can trigger your test case. If you got a set of request from someone that please select, or let's say have the test run with some specific cities by your development team or someone, right? Then you will consider that. If someone is saying that please select this and try to trigger your test case, so on that basis you will gradually increase your test data as well. And then at any point, if it is not working or throwing an error, that becomes your bug or defect or issue. Okay, so if you roughly ask right now as a manual tester, then the count is around 60 to 80 test cases sufficient, correct? But if from the realistic scenario, right, there is like you will not be able to count the number of test case for this whole flow chart, guys, because we are not aware about the number of city, number of destination city. Okay, that count if we have, right, then we can count the number of test case, guys. Clear, everyone?
Great, great. Just one more question I have. So,
Right.
assuming that I am having 6 years of testing experience, particularly only in manual, to be
Perfect.
precise.
Okay.
So, post the class, post the course, like once we are done with it, how much experience can we put in, like in interview calls? Let's say we are like creating the framework from scratch, and as you've mentioned in the course, there's Java database connectivity, rest assured framework. So what would be the ideal scenario wherein you wish to
Yeah.
explain your
So
automation experience? Yeah.
correct. So overall, if those who are, let's say, 6 to 8 years of manual exposure or experience, right? Ideally, in your obviously prior experience, you can have at least 2 to 3 years into QA automation. Like, because 2 to 3 years in those you can say that particular gap, that particular time frame, whoever is, let's say, interviewing, they will not go or not deep dive into all the like Jenkins pipeline concept, or let's say Azure pipeline, or what are the GitHub action workflow. They will try to make like questions which will be like your real time, whatever we will be trying to have in this particular curriculum or course content, like how we are handling the implicit weight, how we are handling the explicit weight, what is stale element reference exception. So those type of queries, questions we will be handling in this you can say course content, which you will be able to you can say highlight or explain in your 2 to 3 years of experience to the respective interviewers. And second point is, most of the current you can say they are having the approach of writing the programming code, guys, right? That is one you can say share your screen and try to write a code, right? So if that comes into this thing consideration, you will be able to kind of have the logic. Now, if you want to use let's say maps, if you want to use patterns, matcher, all these are the concept of Java. What is your let's say interviewer expectation? We are not sure, but he is actually happy with the output, right? So from that standpoint, Java, you can say coding practice point of view, little bit self learning will be required on that area. Okay, with respect to Selenium integrated with Java concept, you will be able to answer almost like 90% of the questions. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yes, interviewers are asking to run a program on compiler, which is difficult nowadays. Absolutely. That's the reason I told you that we will be requiring self practice for that's what my assignment will be, guys. Okay. So on daily basis, at least 5 to 7 programs you need to create uh, based on the interviews, whatever they are asking to, let's say, find count the number of you can say words in a string or something like that, those type of questions, right? There were various questions recently um, uh, wherein I'll just give you one quick example before I kind of wind up. So there was one example saying that, hey, how I can do this is kind of string value. Okay, this is considered as a string, but I want the result to be calculated in the, you can say, arithmetic operations basically. Okay, so whatever is 5 plus 5, that is 10, 10 plus 4 is 50, you can say 14, 14 minus 4 again comes out to be 10, 10 into 4. So do you think it's the correct answer?
No, I think we use the board mass.
Use the board mass. The priority for multiplication will be first. So 4 into 4 will be should happen first, correct? So 16 will be here. You can consider output. Okay. After that, whatever is there, right? 5 plus same will remain as it is. Okay. So those type of questions, even like nowadays, they are asking over like by sharing your screen and try to answer this, right? So that's the reason, guys. Please remember this type of code also you need to crack while sharing your screen and compiling, right? So that's the reason. Always remember on daily basis at least 5 to 6 program which is not related with Intel test ng, not related with Selenium, pure Java, that you need to practice, guys. Only then you will have high level insight on how you can, because most of the questions will be from those around 5 to 7 programs which you practice, right, on daily basis. Only from those only there will be some you can say here and there. Okay, the question from interviewer most of the time. Is it clear, everyone? Perfect.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I think we are good. API, I mean REST. Yes, yes, Ravi. Perfect. Okay, then I think we are good.
Okay,
I
I
would
have
like
a
to,
question.
yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, as you said, in before scenario, you gave an example, right? A website. So if we get test data from the from any Excel file or CSV file, so will you going to cover any tool for those means reading or writing data from
Yes,
Excel file,
we will
CSV?
be talking about Apache POI already, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Which is
yeah.
part of Selenium, correct? So we will
Yeah,
be,
and one more thing is for testing, performance testing. Can you cover Jmeter in a tool in that?
that will be at the end once we are, let's say, everyone are, let's say, comfortable with framework and everything, right? So we'll talk on Jmeter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the course content, I didn't find it, so
Oh,
I'm
in course
asking.
content, you will not
Yeah,
find
thanks.
Jmeter and I mean performance testing. This thing, just at high level, how we usually do API performance testing. What are the benchmark? What are the performance bottlenecks? Right. I'll just try to cover. Yeah. Yeah, Ravi, one more question. I think 2-3 sessions are no, Ravi, any which ways, we will be talking about API testing, right? During that only, after that 2-3 sessions are only for the framework creation, okay? Not for the complete API testing topics. Okay. Okay, I think we are good. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for attending. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Okay. We'll continue our discussion on little bit about manual testing, guys. Okay. Okay then. Thank you so much. Thank you once again, guys. Okay. And those who are this thing, please reach out to Kumar sir. Okay. I would request everyone to please reach out. You will get the detail over the WhatsApp group, guys. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.